Ah.
Take a look at the photo again. If you bled in this position, the blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards.
Why, that's right. So, what does this mean?
Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs.
Swivel chairs? Oh, man.
Give me one of those. Apollo, try turning the chair around.
The chair was facing the other way?
It would have to be. So we have to assume that at the time of murder, the victim's chair was facing away from the table.
When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing?
When I came back to the room, the body was facing a scene in this photo.
That would mean the killer turned the chair back around.
Let's take the next step. Look at the diagram once more. We know the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this creates another significant contradiction there. Yeah.
It seems like it's getting tired. Again!
Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose location in the diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? Victims, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses.
The victim was struck from the front, correct?
Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard?
Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front? Sitting where his indicator currently is?
I would think it would be quite hard, yes.
Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game?
I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light.
What?
There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Apollo, if the victim was struck while he was sitting as shown here, where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it in the diagram.
What? There's no room to put a mark where the killer should be.
Don't worry. Let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing to the wall at the time of the crime. It's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have to be standing to strike the victim from the front, where that cabinet is?
The killer had to be standing here.
You get points for flair, but that's about all you get.
I was onto something there, too.
I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim is facing a solid cupboard. Or are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha!
No, I'm claiming the killer was a ghost.
It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means, the very moment of the crime...
Wait, I know! The moment of the crime... The cupboard wasn't there!
What's this now?
I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately.
Field trip.
Bailiff, send the team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard.
Your Honor?
What?
There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff.
Yes, I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright.
I do my best.
Right.
But let's forward ahead here while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed. The killer was standing here at the time of the crime. Then this cupboard wasn't here, which means... Apollo, try moving the cupboard. Well, there it goes. Oh, so he'll be looking through the window now, could he? Thank you. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem. time of the murder, it had to have been shown here. Now everything is in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my. What's this?
What is it now?
Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact.
Huh? Oh, dang.
Notice something, Apollo. Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion.
Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradicting indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness, or am I going to eat my beard?
Who wants a mustache bride? It's him, of course, because he killed him. We all know.
About this cupboard, are we all okay with assuming it was moved?
Sure, why not?
Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit.
The cupboard would completely...
The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs.
Ah!
That's right, someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in, unless they had X-ray vision. But Mr. Gavin doesn't have X-ray vision, so there.
What? What did you say?
Oh, is the coolest defense in the West losing his coolest defense in the West?
You don't expect me to play along with your little game, right?
It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin, which means it's not a game right now because someone got killed. And someone was, while the window to that room was blocked by a cupboard. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court exactly where did you witness the crime scene from?
Excuse me. Order. Order. This is a court of law, and I will have order.
We just now received word from our investigative team at the Board Bowl Club. They've examined the cupboard in the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh, and what did they find?
Well, Your Honor, it turns out there is a secret passage behind it.
What?
Yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about.
I do remember saying something about that, now that he mentions it.
A secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-on. You never know when you might need to get away from the eyes of the law. So the room is a secret.
So the room has a secret passage. Where does it go?
Where does it go? The other side connects to the restaurant above.
So it's not just a secret passage, but a secret stairwell.
The underworld bosses could get away from the cops. And enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning is led us, Apollo.
I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked, and the victim's hat was only off his head for the few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something.
Dare I ask what really happened that night?
Actually, I think we can probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny.
Oh, come on.
There he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway behind a cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. And no, that's not the sound someone makes when hit by a bottle.
Why did you do that? Oh, here, I'll get help.
Miss Olga Orley was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But his time soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious stealer.